Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Core Premier Series here. We are at a fun car track combination here tonight. We are here in the Silver Crown cars for a little mile-and-a-half action at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here. This is going to be an exciting one. These cars are a handful to drive, and you'll take a look at them here. The best way I can describe them is they are a mix between a dirt sprint car, a go-kart. Oh, and by the way, they have over 800 horsepower and only weigh 1,600 pounds. So if you can imagine there, that horsepower to weight ratio, these things fly, and that they do. Oh, by the way, they hardly have any downforce at all. So going to be an interesting race here as we've got 24 drivers in the field this evening. Let's pull up the starting grid. On pole, our man Carl Handwerk setting the fastest time there. It was a one lap lone qualifier. He comes out on pole with a 30.765. Nick Nickerson there in second. Adam Jones in third. Patrick Shelton in fourth. Mark Gonzalez starting fifth. Jimmy Covert starting sixth. Jeremy Line Watkins starting seventh. Evan Foster in eighth. Dane Simpson in ninth. Anthony Kaiswider in 10th. Matt Crockett in 11th. And Brandon Metler there in 12th. Starting 13th, we've got John Nobinger. 14th, Mason Smith. In 15th, we've got David Peplinski. In 16th, we've got Paul Butler. 17th, Dave Lohr. And 18th, Willie Evernham. 19th, Tim Thompson. And 20th, we've got Abi Visavasam. And 21st, John Crane. And 22nd, Derek Sherman. And starting 23rd there, we've got Christopher Hamilton. And in 24th, Wesley Fuller. So that'll do it for your starting grid this evening. Round 4 here, Silver Crown cars at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Our man of the hour right now is Carl Handwerk, as he did set the pole lap. They only got one lap, and he made it happen there. He will start on pole, but Nick Nickerson there in that number 2. We know he's quick. We'll see what he... Oh, it's going to be a standing start. Very interesting. Expect that. So, nope, sorry. False alarm. It is not a standing start. I couldn't really say. That would be very odd in these cars. I do see the pace car on my screen now. Didn't load in for me there, so go ahead and wipe the sweat off the foreheads there, because I don't know how a standing start would work in these cars. They're single gear, so it's geared for top speed here, so that would have been interesting, but still going to be an interesting race. Let's go over the format for this evening real quick while they do their pace lap. It is a 60-minute endurance race here, so no lap limit, just 60 minutes across the board. Once that time runs out, they will get the white flag and the race will be over. Fuel is set at 50% here. One quick repair this evening. We probably can expect a lot of guys to have to use that quick repair, as these cars will be very tight racing. Just watching them in practice, it was not very uncommon to see them 3 wide here. Unlimited tires, they will need those. That right rear on these Silver Crown cars does tend to wear out very quickly, as you're pretty much drifting the car around the track the entire time. Remember, low downforce, high horsepower. It's going to be a handful to hang on to. All right, Carl Handwerk there in that number 18 is going to lead us to the line, and we're going to get this race started. And the number 2 of Nick Nickerson there on the outside. He's going to look to see what he can do on that outside lane. They take the green flag. Great jump by all drivers there. You can see the 46 up on the back end of Carl Handwerk, and that is one thing you're going to want to be careful of tonight. You can see the rear end of these cars looks very much like a dirt sprint car, and the front end looks like a go-kart. And you can imagine bump drafting here, very, very difficult. It's easy to spin the person, but you can see 4 wide back there as they do settle out into 2 wide. Like Adam Jones there is going to slot into second. Nick Nickerson there going to fall back to 4th. But he is right on the tail there of Patrick Shelton there in that 04. And now they're going to go 2 wide. This is a pass for the race lead. We've got Adam Jones going around there. Carl Handwerk going up to the high side. He's going to slot back down there into the 3rd position. And you can see these guys just in one big pack here. That is because these things will be draft locked most of the evening here. We can expect a lot of pack racing. As you can see there, it looked like the two of Nick Nickerson got into the back of the 04 of Shelton there on that high side and got him all kinds of squirrely there through turn 4. You got to be careful with the bump drafting here. The trick here is you just want to get as close to the rear bumper without actually touching it. Oh, it looks like we might have a pass here going on for second. We do. Jeremy Lyon Watkins has worked his way up 4 positions since the start, and he pulled out to the high side there. Couldn't make it work. That's going to allow Jimmy Covert there in that Pennzoil machine on the bottom to come through. And that looks like Dane Simpson there in that bright pink car. He is going to move up into 4th place. And we've got another swap for the lead here. Carl Hanwork going to go to the inside. Oh, no, they make contact. That's the 46. And Carl Hanwork, looks like multiple cars going to be involved there. Adam Jones still up on his roof. He does get it flipped around there, so that is good. Let's check here. Not sure who the other car was that was involved. No, Adam Jones ended up, he did tow to the pit road. Oh, it was a BV Savasum there in that 08. He was involved. So let's, that's a tough one. Let's go back here and take another look at that. We've got to back it up just a little bit further. All right, we can watch this unfold here. As you can see, Carl Hanwork there on the bottom. Looks like he's going to come up the track ever so slightly. They were just very close, and you can see it collects a couple cars there. Let's go on board Adam Jones. Okay. See it from his angle here. Coming off of turn 2 here. It looked like they were just trying to side draft each other there, and both going for the same piece of real estate. We'll try one more view here. If we can. All right, we'll check out the chopper cam here, and you can see we'll knock it down to slow motion. You can see all is good here as they enter, or they're actually exiting turn 2 here. We see Carl Hanwork just ever so slightly up the track, but then he goes back toward the white line there. He's all the way on the apron, and the 46, Adam Jones, just giving him no room there. So after seeing that in slow motion from the chopper cam, I think we're going to have to assign blame to the 46 there. Nothing Carl Hanwork could do. He actually had his left sides on the white line there. And you can see mayhem just happen on behind them. And that'll bring out the first caution this evening. And looks like we've already got a couple of drivers out from that. Looks like Adam Jones is currently out. And Shelton there down 2 laps. Got Kevin Foster here coming down pit road again. Might have been one of the ones that collected one of the cars there as it was flipping, received a little bit of damage. Now remember, they do get one quick repair here this evening. The trick is they can't blow their engine and not be able to make it around the pit road, or they will have to tow, and that will cause them to go at least 1 lap down, if not a couple laps. But after all that shuffling and the top 2 wrecking out, Jimmy Covert there in that number 14, he's going to be our race leader once we get resumed racing. Dane Simpson there in that bright pink car, the number 96, he's going to be in second. Looky here, Jeremy Lyon Watkins there up into 3rd, having a good run here tonight, up 4 positions since the start of the race. And then Nick Nickerson there, who started in 2nd, currently scored in 4th. Got Matt Crockett there in that number 10, orange and, well, brown and black car. will be in 5th place, up 6 positions since the start of the race this evening. Looking through the field here, I want to get the biggest mover so far. That is another Pennzoil machine there. That is the 05 of Tim Thompson. He is currently up 10 spots since the start of the race, so making some good work there. He's currently scored in the top 10 in 9th. So got to give a shout out here to the number 64, Christopher Hamilton. He's currently in 14th place, up 9 positions since the start of the race, so having a good run is there. Good run as well. And we've got Abi Visavasam there, who was caught up in that incident. He was the 3rd car to go flipping. He was able to come down pit road, get his car repaired. He's going to come out and restart here in 16th position. All right, lights are off the pace car, so we'll get going green this time by again. Remember, this is a 60-minute timed race. There is no lap limit. Just you'll see the clock up there in your top left corner of your screen. When that runs down to 0, we'll get the white flag and the race will conclude. We should see a bit of some strategy come into play here. 50% fuel. Don't know the exact number of laps they'll be able to do. We're thinking it's somewhere between 20 and 25 laps. But also tire wear going to come into play here tonight. So we'll just have to see what kind of strategy plays out. The top 12 have not come down pit road. But we will have a single file restart here in order to spread the guys out a little bit. And Jimmy Covert's going to take the green flag here. Great start, but Dane Simpson all over the back of him there. And Jeremy Lyon Watkins was caught napping a little bit. As you can see, there's about a 3-4 car length gap there between him and 2nd place. Action right here. That is the number 6 of Mason Smith. Oh, we've already got another caution out. That was about like a BV Savesa might have been involved in that at the restart. Oh yes, looked like he got going there, had to check up, and a car got into the back of him. So that's what brought the yellow out. Let's look at that. Right on board here, as you can see, he's going to hit the gas right there. Thought they were going, and just had to check up, and he's just get who. That's the 199 of John Kane. Doesn't look like he has any damage from that, so he should in on John Kane's car here. We can see there that number 199 machine has a little bit of left front damage there. He should be fine. We think he still has a quick repair left. He'll probably save that till later in the race, I would imagine. That doesn't look too bad. Might slow him down a little bit aero-wise, but that definitely looks manageable there. As long as his temps are okay. That's the other thing you got to pay attention to in these cars. A little front end damage can little damage to the radiator there. Really small radiators on these things can cause your temps to overheat and blow your engine, which is not something you want to do here. But Kane's going to come down, it's going to come down pit road there. Get some of that damage repaired, but meanwhile out front here, Jimmy Covert, at number 14, he's still out front. Our top 10 have not come down pit road. The Mason Smith here, the number 6 car, he's currently scored in 11th. He is the first car to come down pit road on lap 5 there. Presumably just topping up on fuel there, taking 4 fresh tires. Don't think the guy's tire wear is that extreme yet. They've only had a few green flag laps here, as most of them have been under caution. But definitely can play the fuel strategy here. Just go that much further on that first stint once we get going green. But Carl Handwork was able to get his car repaired. He is currently scored 13th position there. But he's got to be careful here for the rest of the evening. No more quick repairs left for him. There in 13th. Got Paul Butler there, and then 77, that bright teal and yellow car, currently in 14th. And even after that incident, Abiy Vusavesam there is currently in 12th. A little bit of damage here on the front of the 88 car. That is Mark Gonzalez there. Like he's crinkled up the front bumper just a tad. Affect him. We should get the one to go this time around, and we'll get resumed racing here. All right, pace lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get restarted here with just a little over 46 minutes remaining here in our 60-minute timed race this evening. Dane Simpson here, who we're riding on board, he is starting second. Since it's a single file restart here, we'll ride on board with him as they get started.
Green, green, green.
You can see Jimmy Covert there getting off to a great start. And Matt Crockett already lost the tail of the number 96 there of Simpson. And they look really spread out mostly through the field. Got the 42 here of Mason Smith. The 42 of Derek Sherman looking on the outside of Mason Smith. Mason Smith now going to look to the inside of David Peplinski there at gray and black car. Mason's going to look to the inside here as they go through turns 1 and 2. Like he's going to pick up that spot, take away the 9th place position. Meanwhile, we've got a battle for the lead here. This is Dane Simpson there in that pink car. He's going to look to the outside. Not going to be able to make that stick there. Going to have to fall back in line. Meanwhile, Matt Crockett, John Nobinger here battling it out for 3rd place. The 34 there of Anthony Kaiswetter also catching up here. They're going to form a 5-car pack here as Dane Simpson again pokes the car to the outside there, takes a look, going to duck back in line there as the 10 of Crockett gets up to the back end. like we've got some action going on back here. And Mason Smith. We're going to back it up just a little bit further. BV Savasum there gets knocked through the infield.
Yellow flag.
And looks like he's going to get into, I'm not sure what car that was. That is Kevin Foster in the number 8. Third accident. Back. Piece of Vasum there had somebody bump drafting. Four of Christopher Hamilton, and bump drafting in these cars is very difficult, as you can see. It just got Visa Vasum out of line there. He went low, came back to the track, and collected for 8 there of Kevin Foster, and you can see the most damage there to Foster, but Vasum is probably out of quick repair, so we probably expect his night to be over, unfortunately. That'll bring out the third caution here this evening. Looks like Foster is able to keep going there. He hasn't came down pit road yet to get that damage repaired, but we can expect him to come down now. While the top 6 have not pitted yet, everyone else behind them pitted. Actually got John Kane here, who came down pit road on lap 10. Nick Nickerson there came down on pit road a moment ago as well. So it looks like most of these guys 6 on back have came down pit road. We can see Nickerson thought this was the pit entrance, but it's not. He's just having fun on the apron there. To see how much longer these top 6 drivers stay out on track and how long they take this first stint. Does look like track position here is pretty important. Very difficult to make a pass, as it's pretty much like Daytona here in these cars, at least until the tire wear comes into play. Checking in on the biggest mover so far, that is the number 42 of Derek Sherman. He is currently in 7th place, up 15 positions since the start of the race. So he is having one heck of a run here. And let's check in with number 17, currently in 4th place. That is Dave Lohr, who is up 13th position since the start of the race this evening. So he's having a great run as well. Christopher Hamilton there in the number 64, up 12 positions, currently in 11th place. Also having a good run this evening. But the man of the hour right now is currently Jimmy Covert. He gained the lead there early on. has kept it so far, but top 6 drivers have not come down pit road. Everyone else has, as we're just now starting to approach the halfway point in about 8 minutes here in the 60-minute timed race this evening. Silver Crown cars at Las Vegas. Looks like the pace lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get restarted here this time around. Jimmy Covert there in that number 14. He's going to lead us down to the line. Dane Simpson there in the 96. He's going to start second. Got Matt Crockett there in third. We'll see if Dane Simpson, he tried to get a run on Covert that last restart going into the first turn. We'll see what he can do here. There is a trick to get these cars started. You want to use the clutch. See the guys that take off quickly here have got that skill down. Some of the other guys will struggle getting going here. Mark Gonzalez there looking at the back of the Matt Crockett. That'll be for third. Dave Lohr's going to look to the outside now of Gonzalez. Very difficult to make that outside line work. You got to have a lot of drivers up there with you drafting. I kind of think of like Daytona, but with Silver Crown cars here at a 1.5 mile track, just that top line, very difficult to make it work here. Oh, we've got a car down there on the apron. That is Crockett. He did a great job to save it. You definitely don't want to get your left sides down on the apron here in these cars. Will upset them. They ride very low to the ground, low spring travel. Here looks like we've got about 6-car pack up front. I think Mason Smith has caught up here to this front pack. Derek Sherman there in the 42 trying to catch it. And we've got David Peplinski here in that number 846 machine, currently in 8th. Great battle going on behind him here. We're 2 wide. That is Christopher Hamilton and John Crane there battling it out. That is for the 9th place position. Right behind them, we've got Jeremy Lyon Watkins and Billy Evernham. Two by two here as we cross the line. 36 minutes remaining. Right on board the number 19 here, Willie Evernham, as he's racing 2 wide here in this 4-pack of cars. Oh, we've got the yellow out. Oh no, looks like Nick Nickerson may be involved in that one. Let's go take a look. Yeah, we've got multiple cars there involved. Got the 05, the 2, who else? Adam Jones involved in that. He was involved in one of the earlier incidents. Oh, he almost made it through it there, but he had to lock up the tires there. Avoid that car coming down the track. It looks like Anthony Kyswetter also involved. And he is that number 34 red and black car. Looks like Nick Nickerson there was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let's ride on board with him as that wreck unfolded. Looks like the number 2 of Nick Nickerson, he is going to be able to make it down pit road under his own power, so he will use a quick repair there. Got a lot of drivers on pit road now. The 18 of Carl Handwork down pit road. Patrick Shelton, our race leader Jimmy Covert there coming down pit road as well. Like Derek Sherman, actually no, the of Christopher Hamilton going to come out right behind our race leader. John Crane there. 12th, John Nobinger out in 13th. Mark Gonzalez there. Like Matt Crockett is going to be our race leader once we get restarted. He stayed out. Around Dane Simpson also staying out. Smith staying out as well. Dave Lohr. Kaplinsky there in 5th place. Willie Evernham here in that number 15. He pitted on lap 12. Looks like he took fuel only. Brendan Mettler there in 7th. He pitted on lap 20. So 8 laps ago. He did take tires, so he took tires and fuel. Foster there, who was involved in one of those early incidents. He pitted on lap 21. Took fuel only that time, but he's going to start in the 8th position. And then Jimmy Covert, who was leading the race before that yellow came out, he's going to come out here in 9th place once we get restarted. All right, just now approaching halfway here through our 60-minute timed event under our 4th caution here of the evening, but we're about ready to get started here again at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The number 10 of Matt Crockett there going to lead us to the restart. Number 96 of Dane Simpson there in 2nd, and Mason Smith, very quick Mason Smith, has worked his way up to 3rd. Let's see what he can do here once we get restarted. Pace cars now off the track, and Crockett is going to lead us down here to the restart zone. And he is off. Great jump by him. Dane Simpson not getting as good of a jump there. Mason Smith already under pressure from the 17 of David Lohr. Going back through the field here. That looks like Kevin Foster currently battling the 15 of Brandon Mettler. And that'll be for 7th place. We got Derek Sherman here in that number 42, also under pressure from the 199 of John Crane. Oh, it looks like we've got one up down on the apron there. That was the 64, Christopher Hamilton. And the 42 of Eric Sherman actually had to check up there as he rejoined the track. We're about ready to have a battle for second here as Mason Smith looking to the inside there of the 96 of Dane Simpson. See Dane Simpson running that high line, that middle line there, trying to make it work. But is that going to allow the 6 of Smith to poke a nose in there? We'll have to wait and see as they go down into turn 1 here. Lee Crockett there just hugging that bottom line. And that's going to actually force Dane Simpson up high. And Mason Smith is actually going to take away that second place position. Dave Lohr there actually tried to look on the outside of Dane Simpson, got forced up the track and had to check up. He's now going to slide all the way back to 5th place. Still see Dane Simpson there in that pink and black car, still trying to make that high line work. So far in the draft, he's not losing out too much time. Oh, we've got our 5th caution of the evening out. Oh no, looks like John Nobinger may be involved. Eye sweater there. That number 34 also involved. Let's go back and take that. I'll back it up just a little bit. We're looking at that number 34, that red car. Oh, he just gets loose on the exit of 2. And takes out quite... Oh, that is Nick Nickerson also involved there with more front end damage to that car. I'm not sure if he's taken his quick repair or not, but if he has, that is going to be disastrous for him this evening. Like John Nobinger is going to make it back to pit road, but Anthony Keiswater there smoking. Going to have a time to get that thing down pit road and take a quick repair. Looks like the number 2 of Nick Nickerson is actually out of the race this evening. So he had already used his quick repair before that last incident, and he is going to disconnect this evening. So tough break for him. It looks like he's going to get scored in the 21st position. All right, pace lights are off the pace car, and we're going to get restarted here as we approach 21 minutes remaining here in our 60-minute timed event this evening. Matt Crockett there in that number 10. He's going to lead us to the restart yet again. And Mason Smith there in second, looking to pounce and take away that lead. Also got Dane Simpson there in that number 96. He'll be restarting third here this evening. We're just now under our fifth caution of the race, but the pace car is going to dive off this time around, and we're going to get restarted here. Matt Crockett there in that number 10. He's going to lead us down to the restart zone. He's going to take off. Great start by all these drivers. Let's just check on back through the field there. Kevin Foster right on the back of Dave Lohr. Looks like we've got a battle here for 12th. That is Mark Gonzalez and Carl Handwerk looking to work his way back up through the field after being involved in a wreck. Right behind them, we've got a little two-wide action. That's the 44, John Nobinger, looking on the outside of Tim Thompson. Carl Handwerk was able to make it around the 88 there, as he's now going to look at closing in on the back of the 64 of Christopher Hamilton. Well, Hamilton up ahead, going below the line there. Very odd looking. But he is battling it out currently with the 199 there of John Crane. Currently, this is for 11th. He's going to look under the inside of him down through the tri-oval there. They are going to get very close as they go down into turn one. Great job by both drivers to clean up. Meanwhile, out front, we've got a pass for the lead brewing up. That is Mason Smith on the bottom there. Him and Dane Simpson are going to go around our former race leader, Matt Crockett, there, as he will slip into third place. Mason Smith now out front there in that Verizon number 6 machine. A little over 18 minutes remaining here. Ooh, we just saw Matt Crockett get a little out of shape there in turn 2. Like Dane Simpson here is going to take a look on the outside as they head down the front straight. He's got Crockett up there to help him draft down the front straight, but now Crockett's going to leave him out to dry and go to the inside. And he's going to take away that second place position. Also, Poplinski there. Oh, we've got a couple cars flipping. That is Mark Gonzalez in the 88 and the 199 of John Crane. Disaster for them. Back it up further. See what happened here. Like they were battling it out. The 199 there on the outside. Oh, they just make contact right there through the turn. That's very similar to the first incident we saw of the evening, where just not a lot of room being given to that bottom side. And once these cars touch, it is pretty much over here at the speeds they're running. Are we going to see our race leader down pit road? No, he's going to stay out as we are just approaching 16 minutes remaining here in the 60-minute timed event. Mason Smith out front, Matt Crockett in second. David Poplinski there has moved up into the third place position, and Dane Simpson fourth. Willie Evernham there has moved his way up into the fifth spot. Like the biggest mover of the evening is currently our race leader here, Mason Smith, up 13 positions since the start of the race this evening. All right, the pace lights are off the pace car, so we're going to get going this time around. Looks like we'll have a little bit under 13 minutes remaining here in our 60-minute timed race this evening. Mason Smith currently out front. He's going to lead us down to the restart. Just checking in on a few of the guys that have had some issues here tonight. Carl Handwerk has now worked his way back up into 12th after being involved in at least one incident here this evening. Looking back here at a few others. John Crane there, one of the more recent ones involved. He's currently in 19th. Evan Foster doing a great job. He was involved in one of the earlier incidents. He's now up into 6th place, so good recovery from him. Jimmy Covert there with a little damage on the front end, but he's currently in 9th. As we're going to get restarted here. Pace car is off. Mason Smith going to lead us down to the line. And good jump by the top two drivers there. Very equal match there. Let's just go on back through the field, see what kind of action we've got. We've got Jimmy Covert going to look to the inside. No, he's going to slide back. Like they're going to pretty much be single file here. We'll check up here for this battle up front because time is running out as we approach 11.5 minutes here. Matt Crockett all over the back of the race leader, Mason Smith. And we've got a 3-wide battle back here. That is Carl Handwerk on the bottom of the 42 of Sherman. And the 17 up high there. Looks like Carl Handwerk's going to make his way through up into 9th place. Great close racing here between the 42 now and the 64 of Christopher Hamilton. Oh, the 42 is actually going to make contact there with the 64, knock him up the track. That may have been, there may have been something previously that we did not see on camera there between those two drivers. But up front here, we've got a great pack here as see Poplinski there in the 846 going to get shoved high. Willie Evernham there in the 19 going to go by Dane Simpson. And that number 96 going to move up into 3rd. Dane Simpson there getting out of line. Going to try that high side again. And that's going to allow Evernham on by into the 3rd place. See the aggression starting to unfold here as we're just now under 10 minutes remaining here in this timed event. And remember, the time, if it runs out under caution, that will be the race end. So these guys know that a yellow is probably due soon. So they are all trying to fight their way up through the field as quick as possible. Because it is a very real possibility we could end this race under caution here this evening. See Carl Handwerk now making a move on Dane Simpson. That is going to be for 6th place. So great recovery there from Carl. Oh, looks like Matt Crockett's actually got bumped out there by the 19 of Evernham. He's going to move up into 2nd. We'll see if he's got anything for a race leader out there. Mason Smith currently still out front. A lot of bumping and banging now as we go down the back straight. Coming up on 8 minutes remaining here. Oh, it looks like the 18 is going to make contact. Oh, Dane Simpson. They catch up with him here. Dane Simpson getting the worst out of that. We are still green. Now the caution will come out. Like Christopher Hamilton may have also been caught up in that. In that 64 machine. Yes, it looks like Dane Simpson comes up there, up the track, takes out the 64 as he was spinning. That is probably going to be Christopher Hamilton's end of the night for him, as well as Dane Simpson there. Seven minutes remaining here this evening. Mason Smith out front. It looks like we'll get restarted with about 2 or 3 minutes left, potentially here, left in the race. We'll just have to see how that works. Very interested to see how close Mason Smith is on fuel. He last came down pit road. He actually has not came down pit road at all. So is he going to be able to make it on fuel here this evening? That is the question. Willie Evernham pitted on lap 12. The only other driver to not come down pit road is the 10 of Crockett there, who's currently in 5th place. I'm with you there, Barry. That was some good racing there toward the end, but I do believe 10 cars all 2 and 3 wide there. The caution was inevitable, as you can see. It did come out under the seventh caution here this evening. Just a little under 4 minutes remaining. We should get the one to go this time by. That'll put us about 2 minutes remaining here in our 60-minute timed event. Mason Smith currently out front still, but the fast number 19 there of Willie Evernham, who has made up 16 spots since the start of the race this evening. Currently your biggest mover if he stays where he is. All right, good news. The lights are off the pace car, so we'll get going green here. We'll have about 2 minutes remaining once we take the green flag, and we'll see if we can finish this race out under green. If not, we'll end it under caution. Once we get restarted here, Mason Smith out front. We'll see if he can hold off the number 19, Willie Evernham. But wild card here, Brandon Mettler moved up into third in that great racing we saw toward the end of that stint. And Jimmy Covert now back up into fourth. And you'll remember he led a lot of laps at the beginning of the race. Great recovery drive from him. Matt Crockett will round out your top 5. All right, pace car is going to dive off this time by Mason Smith. Going to lead us to the restart line here. About 2 minutes remaining once we take the green flag.
Green, green,
Mason
green.
Smith is off. Good jump by him. Willie Evernham still very close to him as we head into turn 1. Oh, we've got a great battle here. Carl Handwork already looking underneath Crockett there. That is for 5th place. And a great job there to take away that position from Crockett. You see Handwork there below the line as he takes a look. Meanwhile, up front, these two battling it out here. We're going to cross the line. A little over 1 minute remaining. And looks like Carl Handwork was able to get around Jimmy Covert there, and he's now moved up into 4th. Paul Butler in that 77 right behind him, following him through. Oh no, we've got a car wrecking. Oh, they're able to save it, but they're going to come back up the track. And that will bring out the caution. And looks like Mason Smith was in the lead when the caution came out. So that'll do it, folks. We'll end this race under yellow this evening. Mason Smith going to take home the win. Great run by Willie Evernham there in that number 19 to come home with the 2nd place. And Brandon Mettler there going to come home in 3rd. Carl Handwork doing a great job there on that last restart. Started in 6th, ended up in 4th. He did a great job bumping his way through the field there. All right, they're going to cross the line here and take the official checkered flag this evening. And that will end the race. Mason Smith going to come home with the win. And Willie Evernham there going to finish in 2nd. Brandon Mettler in 3rd. Carl Handwerk there in fourth, and Paul Butler will round out your top five this evening. We'll bring up the official results as soon as iRacing makes them available to us here in just a moment. Also, we'll wait for the drivers to come up and we'll get interviews from the top three this evening. All right, there's your official results. Mason Smith, Willie Evernham, Brendan Mettler, Carl Handwerk, Paul Butler. That rounds out your top five. Derek Sherman in sixth, Patrick Shelton in seventh, Jimmy Covert in eighth, Kevin Foster in ninth. In 10th, we got John Crane, Matt Crockett in 11th, Jeremy Line Watkins 12th, Tim Thompson in 13th, David Peplinski in 14th, Christopher Hamilton in 15th, Dave Lohr in 16th, Mark Gonzalez in 17th, and Dane Simpson in 18th. 19th, we've got John Nobinger. 20th, Adam Jones. 21st, Anthony Kaiswetter. 22nd, Nick Nickerson. 23rd, Abiy Savasum. And 24th, Wesley Fuller. That'll do it for your official results here this evening. Round 4 of the Core Premier Series. This was the Silver Crown cars at Las Vegas. Just real quick, pull up the schedule where we head next week. Oh, we've got the Pro 2 Light, Lucas Oil Pro 2 Light jumpy trucks, as we call them, stadium trucks, are headed to Bristol Dirt. That is going to be one heck of a show there. You're not going to want to miss that. Those things are a blast at any track, really, but especially you take them to a dirt oval, and that is a fun race. And then it looks like after that, they're going to do the V8 supercars at Daytona. And you can see there, great series, different car track combination throughout the entire series, as it is really the best of the best drivers out here. See who can be the best at all disciplines. And this is an exciting series. All right, we'll try to get a word here with our top three real quick. Let's see if we have anyone in the broadcast. All right, we're going to try to get a word here with our second place driver. We've got Willie Evernham up here in the broadcast booth. Hey, Willie, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, first of all, congratulations on that great second place finish. We saw you duking it out there in that second half of the race, making your way up front. Thought you were going to have a chance, to do something there with Mason Smith toward the end, but unfortunately got cut short there under caution. But great job. Got to ask you, what was your strategy going into this race?
Well, under caution, beginning of the race, I had to use my fast repair first off because everybody checked up and I hit the wall. So came in under green, had to use my fast repair, and really I was just gonna kind of ride around, but I don't know. Did some fuel stops there, and everybody else started pitting. So track position was really key here. I felt like I had enough to go to the rest of the race, but yeah, I just rode around, made passes where I could. Once we started losing fuel there and getting in a run and had a bunch of cars around us, the car felt like it was getting tight going in. So, yeah, I don't know if I could have got Mason there. He would have had to screw up pretty big for me to get under him, but he was holding the line pretty tight. And yeah, happy with the second place here.
Yeah, that kind of backs up what we saw there about it. It seemed like track position was very important. Looked like that bottom line was the dominant line. Very difficult, if almost impossible, to make a pass on the outside. So we saw a few bump and runs here, which is interesting here in these Silver Crown cars doing 180 miles per hour. But hey, it looks like he kept it clean most of the night. Came home second. That's what matters. I got to ask you while you're here, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, want to give a shout out to Desired Image, NOS Energy Drink, Bushlight, um, Core Racing. These guys do a lot to put these races on. It's been a pleasure to be with them for so long. Five Kings Motorsports, new team I'm just became a part of with Brandon Mettler as my teammate, so that's pretty cool. Finished 2-3 for them. But that's about it, man. Like I said, just thank everybody for coming out and thank you for broadcasting, and looking forward to Bristol next week.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to that too. Going to be fun. Those stadium trucks are a blast no matter where you take them, but you put them on a dirt oval and that's going to be an interesting race. So hopefully we'll be able to talk to you in the booth next week as well.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's a dirt track, and I do love me some dirt track racing, so we'll see.
All right. Well, congratulations again on that second place, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that'll do it for our second place driver, Willie Evernham there. Now let's get a word with our third place finisher. We've got Brandon Metler up here in the broadcast booth. Hey, Brandon, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, Kevin? I got you.
Hey, man, first of all, congratulations on that third place finish. Looks like your new teammate there, Willie Evernham, coming home in second. He gave you a shout out there. It looks like you guys both had a good finish here this evening. But interesting car track combination. Just got to talk to you. What was your strategy going into this? It looked like track position was the name of the game, but also survival. It kind of seemed like a super speedway out there.
Yeah, I really did. I think all of us in practice were kind of anticipating there being two lines, maybe a low line and maybe a half a groove up. But really, when the race kind of faded out, it was really like a bottom dominant race. So it was really, really hard to pass. So yeah, like you said, track position was really, really key. I pit early for fuel, and I kind of committed to that strategy. And as soon as I thought that, kind of estimating how many cautions we had left and how much laps we had left, I kind of stayed out towards the end and just kept on gaining positions as people wrecked out and pit and everything like that. So just kind of go with the flow, see what would happen, staying low on restarts, kind of needed the draft, and kind of worked out.
Yeah, we saw the race winner actually not come down pit road at all, it doesn't look like. So you pitted early. What was the fuel run looking like when you were, practicing?
I think off of a straight green flag run, I think we had about 55, 57, somewhere around there laps. So we definitely didn't have a long enough run for that, obviously tonight. But I think we had a couple of good ones in there that made it a little bit interesting between the field. So
Gotcha. Well, again, congratulations on that third place finish tonight. Great run for you. While you're here, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
yeah, I definitely gotta give a shout out to my team, Five Kings Motorsports, as you talked about before with Willie. He just hopped on. He's our most recent member on there. I gotta give a shout out to BAM Racing Videos on YouTube and Facebook, and then some just a couple of other ones. MF Racing Designs on Facebook, Salvage Edge Apparel, Maconi Setup Shop, The Butt Kicker, FB Button Box, and Raise Energy. So I appreciate that time.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the finish. Next week, Lucas Pro 2 Light Trucks at Bristol Dirt. That's going to be a fun one. How do you feel about that combination?
We did something pretty similar to it last year, and I didn't do too well, so we'll have to practice on that one a little bit.
All right. Well, it's going to be fun and entertaining, that's for sure. So hopefully, we'll be able to talk to you again next week.
Yep, appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. That'll do it for our third place driver this evening, Brandon Metler. There coming home in third. Let's try to get a word with our race winner. We've got Mason Smith up in the booth. Hey, Mason, it's Kevin. You got a copy?
Yes, I do got a copy.
Hey, man, first of all, congratulations on taking home the victory tonight. It looked like you played the strategy correctly here. Didn't come down pit road, survived the middle of the pack, made it up 13 spots since the start of the race, taking home the race victory. Got to ask, what was your strategy going into this race, and were you able to stick to it, or did the race just unfold for you?
Well, due to the amount of cautions we had, it was fuel saving. Just fuel saving, and then when I had to leave, when I was passing Matt Crockett, I knew that I could just hold the bottom all the way through the race, and that just played a big part. And the at the beginning of the race, I had to fall back because I was blinking, but yeah, it was just a matter of survive and then holding the bottom line once I had the lead.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotta ask, when you guys were out there practicing, we saw a lot more two wide racing than we did in the actual race. Did you think there was actually going to be two lines and it ended up just being one, or did you know this was going to be a bottom line dominant track?
I knew right away it was a bottom line. As soon as somebody was like on the top apron, like using the Larson line kind of, it was yeah, we knew that the bottom line was the key of the race.
Gotcha. Well, you figured it out. You worked the strategy with the fuel saving here tonight. Come home with the victory. So congratulations. While you're here, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank everyone that was watching, and of course, thank to the parents because they were cheering me, uh, they were congratulating me, and of course, you gotta thank Carl every single time he puts on a show for us, and thank you for broadcasting this race. It's very nice.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Well, congratulations. Victory tonight. We head to Bristol Dirt next week in the Lucas Oil Pro 2 Light Stadium trucks. How you feel about that combination?
Ooh, done it before last season. Uh, I think it's gonna be like another flat out throttle race, unless if I don't know, but very interesting to do those again. Those trucks, I should say, are most likely fun to race on an oval.
Absolutely. I like taking them to a road course myself, but anywhere you put these trucks, they're a blast. So we're looking forward to that next week. Again, congratulations on the victory tonight. Go out and celebrate, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you in Victory Lane again next week.
Oh well, thank you, and have a good night.
All right, that'll do it for your race winner this evening, Mason Smith, coming home with the victory. Great racing here we saw toward the end. A lot of two wide battling. Unfortunately, had to end the race under caution just due to how things unfolded. But we'll be back next week at Bristol Dirt. Just checking to make sure we don't have an off week. We do not have an off week. So next week we'll head to Bristol Dirt there in the Pro 2 lights. Going to be an interesting one. Going to want to tune into that. And that'll do it here for round 4 of the Core Premier Series Season 6. Just shout out to all the sponsors, Raise Energy, Wood and Nichols Woodworking, and Joka Graphics for putting on the show. And thank you all for tuning in here to Soak Tires Broadcasting. Hopefully we'll catch you again next week.